Hi all, welcome to Workato Masterclass Series. Today we are going to talk about Workato Genie, or you can say AI Agent Studio. Before we move into our today's agenda, let's have a quick recap on what we have studied in the previous session. We have talked about Workato Sandbox account, right? So which is a new feature or a new account type which is given by the Workato for all the developers who can access with their Gmail ID or the non-corporate email IDs, right? So also we have shown what all the features available in the sandbox account, and we have also shown you how the workspace looks. If you have missed it, please go and check our previous video. I'll be providing a video link in the description box, as well as you can click I button at the right top of our video. Okay, let's understand our today's agenda, that is Workato Genie or AI Agent Studio. Okay, before we move into our actual agenda or actual thing, let's understand a little bit background on what is Genie or AI agent, right? A genie is nothing but, in a layman terms, it's a smart helper that lets you create and fix automated workflow just by talking or typing normally. Second thing, so instead of you having a more technical skill, instead of having, you can simply explain what you want in a plain English. Genie then helps you to build automations, understand how they work, find problems, or make them run better. Like example, you're saving a time as well as you're reducing the complexity of the workflow with the help of Genie. Okay.
Components of G, right? These are the four key components. That is AI model, which is like you can say like LLM. It's a large language model, right? You can say this thing like very smart digital brain. It's just think about LLM as a your digital brain, right? So because say example, okay, one of the book you read, and your friend asks you question about any of this particular in this book. He asks some question about something related to that book. So you're able to answer it because, right, you have read that particular book and you're able to give a detailed way of explanation to your friend, whatever he asked for the question, what he asked the question about, right? Similarly, example, you have watched one of the movie and in that movie, your friend would have asked who is a actor, who is a actress, who is a all the cast involved in that, and who's a producer, who's a director, how is the film, and what all things like this film is. Like it's an action movie, it's a drama movie. What's up? Can you tell me about a little bit about story? All those things if we asked, you were able to answer it, right? Because you have already watched that particular movie. That's the reason you're able to answer it, right? Likewise, the LLM nothing but it's know the things, whatever I would ask the questions, it able to answer it because it knows the concept. All the content matters are with is with LLM. Okay, so that's the reason it able to answer your questions. So likewise, the next is chat interface. It's like, for example, where do you want to ask that questions? You need something kind of interface or chat interface to ask your questions or to talk with a genie, right? That's the reason you have need a chat interface. Third is knowledge base. Knowledge base nothing but you're feeding the data to your genie. That suppose anything happens, user asks what end user asks you any questions. So you any error comes out of the particular while running the recipes or while answering the questions, you get to this particular documents and read through this document. So this document contains all the related questions and answers related to my particular use case, right? It able to give you answer back. That's the reason you need knowledge base. Skills, nothing but the skills will be the action which is taken by the G. Action will be taken care of by the genie on behalf of us, means that you like the developer, you can say. Okay. So that's the reason the four components are required for the successful of your this genie process, you can say, genie end to end. So let's now go to our Workato platform and understand this in detail. Okay. Okay. Now, when you once you able to log in, once you able to log into your Workato, um, say we have an option to create here genie. Okay, so once you log in to your Workato account, this is how you are able to create your genie. Okay, genie is like you can create your own genie like the from the scratch, or you can from a template. There's a legal genie, you have a content creation genie, competitive intelligence genie, data insight genie, email management genie. So all these genies are inbuilt, are available for you to use it. Okay. But say example, when you want to create your own genie from your scratch, you can give your what would you like your genie to be helped with. Example, you want to help with the ID tickets or this kind of thing. You can create that particular, this tab, that particular what the genie has to help with, and create a new project, or you want to have already created a folder, so you can select that. So example, I have created already here the genie, so I have created it. Okay. Now say example, how basically it looks when I after you creating it. Okay. So example now. So this is how it looks. Right now, I'll just exit it. I'll show you like how basically it looks. The genie. See example, now when I created this genie, I have used LLM as OpenAI GPT, and a chat interface like I've used it here is Workato Go. When you select, you have an option of you also have an option of option. There's three options. For example, I'll just give you IT genie. I'll give you example how it looks basically. Uh, Helping with all my IT tickets. Okay. I just give a small description. It's not necessary to be have a this small description. You can give more than. I'm just giving an example how it look basically looks. So now the same interface which you have seen in my previous slides, like the example Genie which I created already. Now here options is default be settled by clouds on it. You can change it to Open GPT, or you can have your own LLM as well. Okay. As I said, there are three options for a chat interface. One is Slack, second is Microsoft Teams, and third is Workato. Workato is nothing but it's a inbuilt feature of Workato. Okay. This is how you can give. This is a three interface chat interface to be look into. So you have to give your own credential, like for the client ID can secrets for that, can then it will be helped. So here job description also can be edited. It's not necessary you have to have a same description as per thing. You can change it accordingly. Okay, as per your use case requirements. Now skills, which I said like it helps to take action on behalf of you, right? So and knowledge base, nothing but it will be help you to feeding the data to help the genius to be more genius kind of thing. So app events, like say examples when you say there's any issues comes and it will raise a Jira tickets. Now it'll you ask them like when there is a Jira ticket price, you just reason that and help me to get the Jira ID and send it to me in a Slack. This is kind of app events. You can say like you just listen to your real time what's happening, real time events, what's happening in your things and the recipe wise, you'll get the information about that. Okay, that's about very detailed way, like the high level, it's like high level of the IT Genie interface. Okay, now let's go back to about already built Genie. Okay, this is like already built for this particular use case. Now I already added one skill. That's right. So let's understand what is skill. Okay, now let's go to skill of ours and let's understand what is skill is. So what I said, I just made simple thing here. So I written select as soon as user sends a request from the worker to go prompt, start the recipe, that is ID I gave, and also I gave a simple name of the recipe. Okay, and you'll get a recipe ID from the input. Like it's not necessary to be input, but you'll get that input from the whenever there's a user input I gave, it'll take that recipe ID as a input, and it'll give the status of the recipe back to the response to my Workato boot. Okay, and there is like the I use recipe ops to run my recipe. I'll be sending the recipe ID from the start step one. Okay, this is about what do you call my skill. Okay, now let's go to my knowledge base. What does this knowledge base does? So knowledge base is something like I've written a small recipe for that. What it does is like whenever there is a new file in the Workato file storage, it start to putting into the knowledge base. Okay, this is about the knowledge base, and want to see the knowledge base how it looks. This is how the knowledge base looks. I just give you a simple data sync troubleshooting guide. Issue description, step by steps resolutions. Step one is like file access issues, database connectivity issues, authentications, permission errors, recipe execution issues. Like I just gave small discussion about if there is any error comes into picture. Okay, it's a kind of troubleshooting guide. So it will read any of the issues comes into picture. It will start reading that documents and give the information back to user. This is very simple. These two recipes I not have any app events here, but you can add. Suppose you need required to as per your records. So that understand. Now let's go to the Workato Go. There's a one of the interface, as I said, shared interface to talk with the Genie, right? So now, for example, I have the genies which you have here. It has to be in active state. Until the active it will not show in your particular prompt. For example, I just stop it now. I stop the genie. Okay. Now let's say I refreshed it. See, example is not showing any genie because genie is not active. So once you everything like once you give information to your genies like the skills, your knowledge base, and the description, everything, then you can start the genie. Okay. Once you start, let me refresh again this page. And you can observe it's got when there's an active genies, it's showing the Workato Go genie, like Workato Go interface. Let's say I want to chat with this thing. So can you help me to sync data from my SQL to Excel? So go and check whether it's user what Excel usually is doing, asking for. It says like, yes, I can help you to sync data from sync. What specific SQL database table you want to export with? So now, let's say example, this is what I not wanted. Like I don't want this particular to be prompted, right? But can you can you can you run the recipe which help me in syncing data? SQL to X. Let's see what it does. See now thing is it start triggering the recipe, right? When I said, can you run the recipe which help me in syncing the data from MySQL to Excel? It attempted to trigger the recipe syncing to X, but there was no there was an error with the recipe and its connection. To resolve this, please check the recipe details or a connection detail. Means it's got failed while syncing while running the recipes. Now it gives me that the error prompt saying like this is what happened, right? So this is got read from this particular also. Maybe like data connection say, see example, it would have been read this kind of maybe like this kind of things. If it's getting any error in this particular recipes, it try to understand and try to give that particular things. And then understand what's happened, right? So now let's go to recipe one. Sorry, recipe two. So now see this one is this is not done because my connection is from what the local host. So hence I want to run what is that? I have to run the Workato on-prem agents. Correct. Okay, now I've ran to my on-prem agents. Now it's got the connections got connected. Okay, now let's go back to the my Genie. Now I just go back. I'll just say like, can you try again? See now, I just asking for can you try again. So okay, it says okay. See now, thing is like recipe sync to data MySQL to data MySQL to Excel has been successful trigger. Means the particular recipe should have been now running, right? Let's see, go back to our projects now and go to Genie, and that's it. Understand. See now, it was not active before previously. It's now got active from to the recipe 2. It helped me to run that particular like make it active. Now let's feed the data into this. Now let's say let's use this and let's teaching the things to say Amazon IT solution and vendor name, and I give amounts and dates. Okay, I'll just give as this one. So just give as 12, dates 13, right? Okay, let's understand what will happen. I just insert this value. Okay, it got added. Now let's go back to our Workato code. Sorry, not Workato code. I have to go to this particular page. So I should get now the job, right? Let's understand. It got triggered, and let's see where it's got inserted. Yeah, it got inserted. That means it's got successfully added to the Excel sheet. See now whatever the data is like 3 vendor name, amount, and settlement amount. I did. So that's how the Workato Go is helping me to understand the what's happening in the type of the process, what whether the connection is failure or success, and with that we're able to know in the with the chat interface only that understanding the what's happening behind the business process, right? So that's about quick um understanding about Genie, how we can avail the data as like Workato Genie or in our recipe building and make it successful, right? So next session, we may talk about MCP servers, more on that and how basically it helps in our ease the process, okay, and also data governance. It helps in the in the field of data governance as well. Okay. So this is about Workato Genie, or you can say like data AI Agent Studio. But AI Agent Studio also involve MCP servers. But in this particular session, I'll not be covering MCP servers. But in future, like the in next session, maybe I'll cover the MCP servers to give you like a overview on the MCP servers and also a small use case of MCP servers using. Okay. So with that note, I'll be closing these sessions. Hope you have enjoyed this session and also understood what is AI agent and how or what are the four components we use, how basically practically we used it. Okay. So until then, keep doing, keep practicing it. Thank you so much.